she was before me because I'm going to share a dua with all of you. Dua is a weapon of the believers, and God listens to all of us. No matter your religion, call on God, He listens to us. So in this moment, I ask you to clean your hearts and be sincere, because we are going to make a dua. I want it to come from the bottom of your heart for our brothers and sisters in Palestine. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ya Rabbil Alameen, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. God, we call upon you, for surely there is no one else worthy of being called, no one capable of helping. Sorry, I'm getting nervous. I'm going to start over. Sorry. All right, there we go. Ya Rabbil Alameen, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. God, we call upon you, for surely there is no one else worthy of being called, no one capable of helping our brothers and sisters without your will. Oh God, we call upon you to aid our brothers and sisters in Palestine. We call upon you to strengthen them in their fight against oppression. We beg you, the most gracious, the most merciful, to have mercy upon them. We beg you to reward them for their patience, steadfastness, and strength. May every soul lost be accepted as shaheed. Ameen. Ameen. May every loved one be reunited with the one they loved. Ya Allah, those in Palestine have been abandoned by the world, but they have not been abandoned by you. Though they may not find comfort from the world, may they always find comfort in you. For every bit of heartache, may you be their ease. For every bit of doubt, may you be their certainty. For every bit of fear, Ya Allah, may you be their courage. For every bit of despair, Ya Allah, may you be their hope. For every bit of weakness, may you be their strength, Ya Aziz. In the midst of their chaos, may you be their peace, Ya Salam. In the midst of darkness, that may feel all-encompassing, may you be their light, Ya Noor. In an unjust world, may you be their justice, Ya Adl. In the midst of lies, may you reveal to the world truth, Ya Haq. May you bring not only peace, but justice to the Holy Land. Because my Lord, our brothers and sisters will never know peace without justice. Oh God, you are the turner of hearts. So if you will, turn the hearts of those who oppress. But if you choose to leave them blinded and illusioned by their upper hand in this temporary world, bring upon them your wrath in the worst ways, as you have done to the oppressor of Musa and Bani Israel. May you bring upon them a rude awakening, and the punishment befitting the filthiness of their souls, in this life and the next. Surely you are the most just and the best of punishers. Make way towards victory for the Palestinians, as you had for Musa by parting the sea. Ya Allah, part the sea of treachery and drown out all oppressors and oppression, as you drowned out the arrogant Pharaoh. May you bring freedom and prosperity to Palestine and to all innocent and oppressed peoples. Ya Allah, may you forgive us for neglecting our humanity and forgetting the oppressed. Ya Allah, forgive us for lacking the courage, and give us, Ya Allah, the courage. Ya Allah, forgive us for surely we transgress. Allahumma ameen.
Takbir! Takbir! Takbir!
Next up, we have Ozzy.
Mic check, can everyone hear me? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace be upon you for all my non-Arabic speaking, non-Muslim friends, so you understand what we say when we say this. I'm not here affiliated with any group. I'm simply here as an ordinary citizen and a resident of Philadelphia who wanted to come and share a few thoughts from the perspective of someone who's been watching this whole conflict play out my entire life. I remember when I was a little kid in elementary school in 1987-88, when an Israeli settler shot dead a young Palestinian schoolgirl playing in her schoolyard. when the trial went to court to stop the international outcry and condemnation, they sentenced him to house arrest.
Shame on Israel!
They sentenced him to house arrest for a few months and then released him. This is the Israeli colonial courts, the only democracy in the Middle East. They released him on the basis that he only meant to shoot in her direction to scare her and not actually kill her. This is the state of Israel that we're dealing with. So my message to my brothers and sisters here today is very simple. I want to begin by expressing my deep gratitude to people that are here today who gave up their personal time and sacrificed to be here out of their busy lives, because it's not easy. And it doesn't matter what faith background you come from, what ethnicity, what race. None of that matters, because you're here united for one purpose, and that's justice and standing on the right side of history. There's nothing that I could say to you that you haven't already heard or that you already don't know. I'm not here to give you a long lecture or go into the long history. It's too much to talk about in a few minutes. But what I'm here to do is to remind you that activism and standing on the right side of history and standing up for justice and equality and freedom for people who are voiceless is not a fashion statement. It requires a sincere commitment. It requires moral courage and intellectual aptitude to then stick with the position because you're justified, regardless of how difficult it becomes, regardless of how unpopular it might be. I don't need to explain to everyone standing in this city right here, Philadelphia, where America was born, in a country that values freedom, in a country whose leaders espouse ideas about freedom and liberty and democracy and life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. They talk about these ideas that are enshrined in our Constitution, but they talk out of both sides of their mouth. Because when it comes to the Palestinians, they become deaf, dumb, and blind. It's like they don't know what's happening. They know very well what's happening. They know exactly what's happening to the Palestinians, but they're quiet about it. So the question you have to ask yourself is, why? Why are they quiet about it? Imagine if a nuclear-armed Arab country attacked our Jewish brothers and sisters in the middle of Passover, in the third holiest synagogue in all of Judaism, and injured 300 worshippers. What would be the reaction on CNN or Fox or MSNBC? And what if those Jewish people were then having their homes confiscated at gunpoint and thrown out on the street in homes that they've lived in? This is not an eviction issue. This is not a landlord-tenant dispute. Stop letting them call it an eviction, because it makes it sound like that these are delinquent residents, tenants who haven't paid their rent. That's not what's going on here. They're confiscating people's homes at gunpoint because the Palestinians can't go and make the same claim in Israeli courts. So my message to you is very simple. We need to re-own and reclaim the narrative. Don't let the media and our fake elected leaders set the narrative. There's a few brave voices like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, like Rashida Tlaib, like Congresswoman Presley the other day, and a handful of others that have spoken up. But this is not a war. This is a one-sided carnage. On the one hand, you have a nuclear armed, the only country in the Middle East with nukes, the largest recipient of U.S. foreign aid, military aid, and diplomatic aid in the world. And on the other hand, you have Palestinians who are stateless and homeless with no army, no navy, no air force to defend them, who've been dealing with a brutal occupation for over 60 years. And when they have their rocks and pebbles and slingshots, and they have the audacity, after multiple provocations, to provoke the Palestinians, that when a ragtag militia like Hamas finally fires a couple of homemade crude rockets that never seem to land anywhere, then it's Israel has a right to defend itself. We need to call BS on this and hold these people responsible. I I have to finish up, so I'm going to leave with a very quick note. Very quick note, and I apologize for going over time. I'm reminded of a verse from the Quran. It's very quick. الذين كان لهم الناس وإن الناس قد جمعوا لكم فاخشوهم فزادهم إيمانا وقالوا حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. And I normally don't bring religion into things, but the meaning is this. Those to whom the hypocrites said, indeed the people have gathered against you, so fear them. But it merely increased them in faith. And they said, sufficient is Allah, and He is the best disposer of affairs. Assalamu alaikum.
Next up, we have Mohammed Youssef.
Assalamu alaikum. If I don't steal it, someone else will. That's what was told to a Palestinian family as they were being kicked out of their homes. This is their rationale. This is right to them. This Zionism is an extremist ideology. They try to call Islam extremist. Zionism is extremist. I'm sick and tired, year after year, of having to come out here and protest that an Israeli baby is just as precious as a Palestinian baby. I am sick of it. I'm sick of them controlling our narrative, the narrative of what's happening in Palestine. They call it disputed territories. It's occupied territories. We need to set the message straight. We need to be active on all social media platforms. We need to get more organized. And you know what? We need everybody to form a coalition, but specifically we need the Muslimin to be more involved. We need all the Muslims to stand up and be more involved. Do dua and be active. Organize. Mobilize voters. Vote yourself. You're not smart if you're saying, oh, I'm not going to vote because I don't agree with either side. You know, it's not going to help anybody at the end of the day. We need to pressure politicians to represent our interests. Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Hello, my name is Jenna Awad. I'm a Palestinian American, and I just want to say, every single one of us is a representative and a spokesperson of our movement. So when we leave here today, make sure that you represent our movement correctly, with peace, and respond when somebody challenges you with facts. Educate yourself and stay calm. I know it's a very emotional topic for us, and it hits every single one of us in our emotions. And I know you want to scream at someone when they say something so ridiculous to you, but maintain your composure. Respond to them and don't let them leave where they're like, I thought they were going to yell at me, I thought they were going to punch me in the face, but they stood in front of me, they smiled at me. No matter what I said some ridiculous shit to them. And I still maintained my composure. They still maintained their composure. And they responded to you with facts. So keep doing that. And make sure that your actions, even if it has nothing to do with you're not talking about Palestine anymore, make sure that your actions are reflective of the movement. Okay. Next up, we have student Mohammed El-Kabal.
All right, everybody, I'm going to be brief, but this is important. I want you to hear me. 63. That is the number of children who have been murdered. Children. I want you to hear me. You need to go from here with compassion and with love, because that is what they lack in Israel. My earliest memory on this planet is living in Lebanon, where my grandmother taught me to hide under cabinets because Israel was bombing cities, was bombing people, was murdering. I want you to hear me. All they want is to steal the land that is not theirs. And they will do anything they can to get it. I want you to hear this quote from the Minister of Education. It's an old quote, but it's important. There will never be a peace plan with the Palestinians. I will do everything in my power to make sure they will never get a state. And if you catch terrorists, you simply have to kill them. I've killed a lot of Arabs in my life, and there's no problem with that. They lack compassion, they lack empathy, they want simply to cleanse the earth. They're murderers. That is all I will say. Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Next up, we have Karamo Sul Iman, who is the chair of the Communist Party in Eastern PA and Delaware.
Good afternoon, comrades. I come to you from a party that seeks to the liberation of not the working class, but the working class not of just Pennsylvania, not just of Delaware, not just of the United States of America. We seek the liberation of the working class throughout the world. We seek peace. And as long as a section of the working class is being maimed or killed, we are all in danger. We seek liberation. We seek freedom for Venezuela, for Colombia, for Puerto Rico, for Cuba. For Cuba, the Cuban Revolution is real. A revolution that needs the support of the world. Our world must live. Armaments to Israel must end. Capitalism is immoral. Armaments are wrong. The deaths of children because of war is wrong. Free Palestine.
Next up, we have a native Palestinian and freedom fighter, Ibrahim Diab.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. MashaAllah, I'm so incredibly proud to see such a big turnaround of mixed people all coming together against human rights for our fight together. This is not a Palestinian-Israeli thing. This is a right of humanity. Our freedom to live and have families and travel. All right, our freedom to come back to our homes that we lived in for centuries is being robbed from us. And guess what? They're scared. They are terrified. Because all of us are speaking up. Bomb Al Jazeera all you want. We are all, Al Jazeera, as my brother said, we are all what they're afraid of. And we will speak together against the fight of injustice. Bomb us as they may, it won't stop us. Ceasefire is not enough. This issue has been going on is deeper than just bombing and killing people. They terrorize us daily. They restrict us. They torture us and target us. Okay? And us as Americans, we take pride in standing together and fighting against injustice everywhere. And we need to do that with our Palestinian brothers and sisters. The way Muhammad Ali said, we shake the world, and I believe we're shaking the world now. We will not be silent. We will not be silent. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Free Palestine. Allah. From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free. Look at my Al-Fatiha.
another freedom fighter and former prisoner in Palestine, Sam Bahadas.
Good afternoon. I'm a 23 years old Palestinian. I've been protesting in Palestine since I was 14. But protesting there and gathering there have a different style. When you're protesting in the West Bank or Jerusalem, you need to face a tear gas, a bullet, and time in jail. I spent 40 days in jail only for raising a Palestinian flag in Jerusalem. Once I came to America, like we started protesting here and gathering, I've been like, is there like useful to protest here in America like there is no Israeli force to protest against? So I found it's really useful to protest here, to let the American people know what's happening there, and to tell our brothers and sisters that they are not alone. And the most important thing is to tell the Zionist group that if they steal our land, they cannot steal our freedom. If they are destroying the houses, but they're not destroying our memories in their houses. They are killing the Palestinian. The Palestinian is dying, but the idea of Palestine will be free will never be die. And free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Assalamu alaikum. MashaAllah, it's beautiful to see so many people around, not just Arab, all around the world, we see people from different races, different cultures. MashaAllah, thanks to everybody for showing up. Just the one thing that we want to not forget about is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, none of this would have worked. So we got to start by thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So everybody just please say thank you to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, say alhamdulillah. And, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can make this a consistent thing, where we all gather around, Muslims, non-Muslims, everybody, to stand for the right cause. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Free Palestine! Everybody, thank you for coming out. We have ended it. Anybody wants to stick around, you can stick around, but we have ended the speakers for now. Thank you everybody for coming out again.
Accomplices and allies, Philadelphians, accomplices and allies, that's me, that's you. We're following at Free Palestine Philly on Instagram, so we know how to show up for our neighbors, we know how to show up for our siblings, we know how to keep this fight up, we know how to listen with our ears and our hearts, we know how to take these streets like we own the streets. Solidarity forever, every day until Palestine is free. If you are a Palestine ally, you are in these streets with our siblings, you are in these streets with our brothers, sisters, our siblings in Palestine and beyond. This is a transnational movement for liberation. No one is free until we are all free. For Palestine and beyond.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! We have one speaker. He would like to say something really quick.
Peace and blessings, sisters and brothers. My name is Sharif Nassif. I'm helping the U.S. campaign for Palestinian rights and the American Muslims for Palestine. We got these call sheets floating around, my friends. This has a guidance on how we can make an impact in Washington, D.C. I want every single one of you, and if you don't have one of these flyers, come find me. It's got a phone number. You call the number. You listen to the prompt, you put in your zip code, it'll automatically connect you with both your senators and your representative. And I want you to let them know that you support Palestinian rights. That's right. I want you to let them know that you support these items, these resolutions introduced by Bernie Sanders and AOC and the Palestinian Children and Families Act. We gotta be active in legislation, in lobbying, to really make sure we make an impact on the foreign policy. So please don't forget to call Congress have your voices heard, keep their phones ringing. Let's make an impact. Peace and blessings, people.
Stop, keep it going. I'm losing my voice. Somebody keep going.
Free, free Palestine! 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 Free, free Gaza! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Gaza! Free, free Palestine! From the river, come on! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!